All right, Libra. So this week from Lay Vampire, you pulled the monster within, internal struggle, personal challenges, and wanting to improve. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled soulmate. These are some pretty deep cards to be pulling right before your birthday cycle coming up here. Now, the monster within. The blessing says knowing our own faults and flaws can give us the tools to transform them into strengths. And then working with this card talks about being able to practice discipline each day to create new ways of dealing with frustrations and difficulties. It says you will find your so-called negative traits can be reshaped and who you are will be redefined. And then with soulmate, the very first quote for this says, "It is time to face my true feelings." The inspiration says to enjoy the beauty of a rose, we must risk being pricked by our inner thorns. This offers a new way to live. The best incentive to change is love. The personal question says, what truth am I embracing? This card indicates no longer living a lie. The key ideas are speaking your truth, choosing love, freedom through transformation, resistance to commitment, an unexpected outcome, and new truths. So, wow, Libra, for some of you, you're digging deep and wanting to get rid of the crap that may hold you back. Whatever personal struggles and whatever things you're wanting to improve with yourself, you're doing it on a very deep level. This isn't superficial stuff that's going on here. Now, soulmate, it's different. All right, Libra, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. Woo-wee, look at that shit. That's nice. Very nice. So the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Beautiful. New beginnings for you, new beginnings in love, new beginnings with your connection with spirit. It's such a beautiful card. I love it. But, again, with the aces, yes, it does signal a new beginning, but are you going to make the most of it? And in the past, the Queen of Wands. So I kind of get the feeling for both here. It's what is going on for you. But then I also feel like maybe some of you are dealing with a person too. The Queen of Wands, you're looking at fire. But, for some of you, it could definitely be a new beginning with someone, a new emotional beginning here. And, with this being a person from the past coming through, this could be a reconnection with them as well, a new beginning with them. But then on the other hand, the feeling is, the Queen of Wands is a beautiful energy to have around you as far as like feeling attractive, feeling confident, having that enthusiasm, but also being able to manage what's going on. And it looks good. And in the present, the Seven of Cups. So options, a lot of options, and not seeing a clear choice. It's also fantasy mode for me. What are you fantasizing about? And for some of you, it could be fantasizing possibly about a person. And, I'm looking at her pointing up. Fantasizing possibly about a new emotional beginning, maybe a new love beginning with somebody from the past. And again, the Queen of Wands, male or female. But, I kind of feel better with it being the Queen of Wands if you're looking at it as far as a person. Just because, the King for me, he kind of wanders around. I don't see that so much with the Queen. It could be somebody that you're really attracted to. But then on the other hand, if you're looking at these beautiful new beginnings here, in the past, you may have had a lot of control over what was going on. And maybe now, emotionally, you just don't. There are options in front of you. It's just about priorities. But not clearly seeing the right option. And again, fantasy land. Fantasizing about stuff. Oh, yuck. Future conditions, the Four of Cups. What's up with that? It's funny because I've always said that, traditionally when you look at this card, right, it's they're so focused on the three cups that are in front of them. They're not seeing that fourth that's being offered, and technically it's the Ace of Cups. Boredom, yuck, emotional blah, right? And for some of you, it may be you turning down an offer that may be like really good, and maybe it's because you're just not seeing it. You're just not seeing it, It's there. It's just, how do you get there? And again, for some of you, it may have to do with a person. But I don't like the Four of Cups. Just, yuck. Not emotionally being in something, not feeling it, or feeling like maybe something better is going to come along. And that may be the case for some of you. You're waiting for something better, but it's right there. It's like right there. Your best path to follow, the world. Wow. Okay, Libra. So there's going to be some things that you're going to have to like complete. There's a successful feeling with the world, but it being as your best path to follow, there's some things that you're going to have to complete and finish up here before you can start this new beginning, because this is a major ending here. And then you have this Ace. I think, for some of you, it's needing to get rid of whatever, emotional junk is going on here. And it may be that, in order for you to move forward, there's things that are going to have to be completed, and this could be in terms of work. It can be in terms of relationships. Sorry, guys, but I kind of feel like for some of you, some things need to wrap up with somebody from the past here. And instead of like fantasizing about new beginnings, maybe there needs to be a completion because somebody emotionally is just not in it. Oh, in your environment. So yeah, maybe it is about turning down offers that may look good, but may not be what you've been fantasizing about. Now, and then again, the Knight of Cups, right? Like following your heart. But I don't know. This to me is either, there's an offering. There's an offering happening here. And I think that with the world being here, there's that feeling of success. And for some of you, it may be that, you're just not seeing the possibilities with what's being offered to you, but it may be good, but emotionally, you're not in it. You're just kind of like, bleh, I don't know about this. But the Knight of Cups being in your environment attached with the Seven of Cups, I do worry too about, if you have a lot of options in front of you and you have something or somebody coming through with, a really good option here, I just don't think that you're seeing it. And it may be involved with the person here offering you something. And it could be that this is something you've been fantasizing about, and then what ends up being offered just doesn't look that great. Looking at the Four of Cups, and it may be a situation where you just kind of like turn it down because it's not what you expected it to be. But, then again, with the Seven of Cups, right, you have to be careful about what your fantasies are around the certain options that you have. But something needs to complete. Something needs to be completed here before, this can be like fully realized and accepted. Your hopes and your fears. And I see that as you hoping for it to be the truth. And then not only that, but getting some emotional clarity as well. I do like the Ace of Swords there because it's saying that, it's there. But I just don't think that your focus is on it. And for some of you, you may not have wanted what is in front of you. You may have wanted, something different totally. The Ace of Swords is truth. It's clarity. It's new, fresh ideas, right? Speaking the truth, knowing the truth. And hoping to get like clarity through this emotional fog, and seeing these offerings happening for you. But it's there. It's there. It's definitely there. I just don't think that you're in it. You're in it, or you're not in it, or you're not seeing it. And something's going to have to complete itself before you can accept anything new coming into your life. Wow, Libra. Oh! And then the outcome. The King of Cups. Now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so You know, and it goes back to what I was saying before here with the Queen of Wands. I do feel like for some of you, you felt like, you know, you may have had like control over what was going on. You may have been able to like manage all the different things going on here, but you lose it. You lose it at some point. You're not clear. You're just not emotionally clear. I do like looking at this as possibly you getting some emotional clarity, definitely, with the King of Cups coming out. But this is his messenger. And there is an offering being made here, for sure, for sure. And this may be the person responsible, but for some reason you're just either not accepting it, not seeing it, or it's not what you hoped it was going to be. Wow, Libra, wow. But with the Ace of Swords underneath him, I feel like what's being offered is truth and clarity. But I just don't think that some of you are seeing it, especially if you're dealing with a person here. Wow. All right. We're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what else is going on for you guys. But there's an offering. There's going to be an offering. Something that you've been fantasizing about, but when it presents itself, you're not going to be in it. I don't think that it's going to be exactly what you had hoped for, but it will be the truth. And I think you're going to be able to see a little bit more clearly. And it may be that, you know, for some of you, it's just that there needs to be something completed here before you can accept an offer. You know, and that may be the reason why you turn it down. But then there's also the feeling, though, too, that it may not be what you wanted it to be. Ah, the fifth chakra. Speaking the truth, truth and clarity. Needing to speak your truth and just be in the flow of events that are happening. Just let things unfold, you know. And then flourish. You will flourish. I do think that what's being presented to you looks good. I think maybe some of you are just needing to turn it down because there are some other things that you need to complete out, you know. And if it has to do with a relationship with the devil falling out, I think for some of you, that's what needs to be completed here, you know. But there's going to be an offering. There's going to be an offering from somebody. Definitely. And there's going to be clarity, absolutely. The truth will be spoken. And I don't think that you're going to have any problem speaking the truth either. But the opportunity that is front and center has the potential to flourish, for you to flourish with it. It looks good. It's just, it may not be what you wanted it to be, or it may be that you have to turn it down because there's something else that needs to finish itself out first. Oh, separation, time apart from your partners on the horizon. Now, here's the thing. When you're looking at separation, it could be something that's just out of your control. You know, it could be having to do with work, or you or your partner is having, you know, to go somewhere else where there may be a separation. Now, for some of you, it may literally be a separation within the relationship. But again, it's not permanent. That's up to you on whether or not, you know, there is a definite separation. You know, and for some of you, it just may be a temporary thing. For some of you, it's going to be something that may last for a little while and that you're going to have to work out here. But Libra, looking at that King of Cups, you know, I do like that as far as you getting some emotional clarity. But I do feel like somebody is trying to make an offering to you that you're either not wanting to accept or you're not seeing. All right, Libra, this one is different here because the way that I'm looking at it, it's almost like you may have like two different offerings coming in from two different people, and you may be dealing with fire and water here. You know, it's where you start out in the beginning where you're either able to manage what's going on, but then you kind of lose it there with the Seven of Cups. But then seeing the King of Cups and the way that they're lucky crossing, you know, you may get an offering from somebody that you don't want. and then you may be getting a different offering. But the thing is that it's there, right? But I think for some of you, you're hoping for clarity to see the truth. What is the better option here? What option am I going to take? And for some of you, it may just be that what you're seeing is not what you fantasized about. It may not be what you want, because looking at the Four of Cups, you're like, nah, I don't know. I don't want that, right? But then you have, the Knight of Cups in this offering here. One of them looks really good. The other one kind of looks like you're like, I don't know. But before you can do anything, something needs to complete itself here. There is going to be something that, you're going to have to complete out on a major level before you can accept any offering from anybody. Now, as far as the energies around you, it looks good. Getting emotional clarity in the end, for sure, with the King of Cups and the Ace of Swords. But I think that for some of you, it is, this being the central focus here, it is about an offering. Somebody or a couple of people here may be offering you something. One looks all right, one looks a little sketchy, but then in future conditions, it may be a situation where you just turn away both. Because again, the Seven of Cups, right? La la land, fantasizing about shit. And maybe not seeing what it is that you fantasized about in the first place. Now, the kicker to all of this is that it has the potential to flourish if you just kind of go with the flow of events. Right? No matter what you choose to do, you will flourish. And you'll be fine. You just kind of have to go with the flow of what's going on. But damn it, speak your truth, right? Clear communication. And I think that that's what you're wanting more than anything, is some clear communication. If people are going to come through and offer you some shit, they better be telling you the truth, basically. Now, in terms of these two, these are pretty deep. When you're looking at wanting to change internal things going on and you're looking at soulmate next to that, that's big. That's on a major level here. You're looking at what you think are your faults and flaws, and you're digging them up now, and you're wanting to change that, and you're wanting to start living your own truth here with soulmate, which is perfect. And maybe, those are the things that need to be completed out here before you accept any offers, period. Now, on the other hand, with the Devil falling out the way it did, that may be a situation that needs to be completed before you can move forward. But either way, the potential there for you to flourish is good. Having the Ace of Cups front and center is fantastic. Who doesn't want to have that as a new beginning in their life? It looks beautiful. But damn it, it better be what you want it to be. Now, in terms of relationships, making the effort, right? For those of you who are single, you're going to have to make the effort here, especially if somebody is offering you that kind of love, right? And if you have two different people coming through, again, you're wanting clarity in what choice do I make here. One of them looks good. One of them, it looks like you turn them down. It just depends. And then separation for those of you who are in a relationship. And again, this isn't permanent. It doesn't have to be. I mean, really, that's up to you on whether or not you stay separated from your partner. But then again, it could be just a situation where it's beyond your control and there's going to be some time apart here. But then again, for those of you who went through a separation, you may have a couple of different people coming through trying to offer you something.